This video is going to be about apples. Now, dealing with the crime of rape, it's a pride breaker, right? So, people make their life look easy, and life is not supposed to be easy because people really go through shit. It's about survival of the fittest, and believe it or not, stress is real. We was taught to have tough skin growing up and all that shit, and I remember everybody, teaching me like, well, this is my house. I go to work every day to pay the bills. And if I show a consistent, you know, legitimate way of being, then I get more respect. Then I value myself more and I have more pride. So growing up, I guess that's what it's about. Yeah, are you gonna fold or are you gonna stick through it? What you think about can control you. And that's pretty much where I guess tough skin or having a strong mind come in. Now, the reason why I'm so mad is because I have to talk myself into understanding the power of my womanhood. And it's kind of hard to do that, being that, this is a society based off, manhood more so. They doing their thing more than us. I was looking at Slim Thug and shit, and men really have, you know, solidity in this world. I guess that's why feminism is something that kind of helps us as women appreciate and value ourselves. I'm like, you can tell when people are, doing good from a emotional standpoint. I guess, trying to conform to roles and seeing people break down, you can tell by the way people are that, and the way people look if they're going through something. And, I guess me having a basic education, I value myself. I don't view myself as an unintelligent person, and I get opportunities, and I also keep in mind, you know, of the world around me. I was thinking like working at fast food restaurants, and they say, the manager is like pretty much, or I guess a manager would pretty much be the one that's keeping up with everything that's going on, and I'm sure, like, I'm not trying to read too much about it because I want to value my common sense, but an owner would invest, right? So whether they robbing for all their money in the safe just in case something go wrong, or they pretty much get funded by a government or some random person that has money, however they do it, you know, these are things that I think about. So I guess that's why I'm mad, because me appreciating me appreciating and appreciating manhood is, I don't know what I want to, like, how I don't know how to feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Just based off my personal life experience. I think about a lot of things, and you know, I try not to stress, because in reality, life is not that hard. Most of us are intellects, and most of us just need to learn, and we need to refine things and figure out how to decrease our emotional state from being, I mean, not decrease, but actually, I need to decrease my pessimistic outlook and uplift these thoughts that are trying to control me. So what I'm saying is, me sitting here saying that feminism is supposed to make me value the quality of life for my, value my womanhood. It's kind of hard, right? Because like I said, a lot of men have success, and that's just the nature of things. That's the natural order. It's fucked up, and there's nothing I can really do about that, right? People like Slim Thug or Detox, no telling what he's doing. He probably is a manager, owner of restaurants, and he's able to control environments because of hidden licks or actually having established have an intellectual identity based off just going to school, having money, and people get people to submit to you. People can tell when you're going through things and when you're not. Sometimes, learning in school, learning to use reverse psychology and things like that, playing mind games with people. I feel like I'm outnumbered, and I know it's like people just waiting for us to die. And I'm like, I really hope that, that my mom is straight. You know what I'm saying? She has a house, so I really hope that she really is on her ones and twos, and, just knowing, understanding people. I walk past I'm walking up Highway 78 and they're building buildings and stuff, and I'm like, I'm fighting the urge to be intrigued by all that stuff simply because I want to be a man. And that's just a pill that I'm going to have to swallow. That at the end of the day, there has been people that have been able to be superior over me just on a mental level, on a physical level. And I'm going to have to accept the fact that it's really just life that I need to be living. Don't question it. Read books and move forward with my life. You know, we got this whole butch identity, stud identity, and I'm like, shit. At one time, I mean, I still kind of do. I'm like, I wouldn't mind being a transitional male, but can you really pull that off? Nah, it just depends on. I observe people all the time, and a lot of people. Now that I'm seeing people, I realize like now that I understand, understanding the feminine male culture, they making all kind of ideas and concepts and stuff for like just feminine behavior. I realize that you can just tell. You know what I'm saying? You can just tell the way by that people, some people, you have to train your mind to be a certain way. And I'm like, it ain't even worth it. You know what I'm saying? I cannot change the fact that I was born a female. I would enjoy my clothes better if I was a male. I would enjoy, what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that I think about that I think that is childish. Shit, it is what it is. I am childish to a certain degree simply because I grew up, I was a child at one point, and so was my mom. It's okay to be childish in your adult years. This is just an idea, it's a concept. That's why I was sitting there thinking about, when people deal with pedophilia or molestation, these are concepts you learn. You know what I'm saying? It don't necessarily mean that, just because we have to justify things with naturalism, and it just is what it is. We can sit here and make excuses and all that, but in reality, that's what I guess the men in our life will try to teach us. Once you get tamed, it don't matter if you've been molested, raped, dealt with pedophilia, whatever. You've been tamed. You're gonna either overcome that shit on a mental level or you not. And it's just real life. In real life, there may have been men in my life that have really experienced bad emotional experiences, and I have to justify that with any negative emotions that I have toward them, based off them taming me in some way, trying to get me to respect their struggle, or to respect them in a general sense. I think, as I got older, I started getting into, you know understanding that, the way you look and stuff really does matter on a, you know, just based off, advertisement selling things. I realized that I actually do value something when it looks a certain way or something like that. It just makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with a little stress. You know what I'm saying? It's just people do take losses, and you know it is okay to be tamed. And that's why I'm mad, because this dynamic of heterosexuality, I've analyzed it. I know that people have made money off of it. Movies like How to Be a Player, Deliver Us from Evil. When I watch movies like that, I mean, I wasn't never really into them like that, but just being an analyst, I'm like, I don't like dealing with shit like that as a woman. It's like that's what make you give up on your on womanhood, because you can be the ugliest thing walking, but if you got confidence, all that shit go out the window. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm sitting here comparing myself to other people that I shouldn't even give a fuck about. But that's what I was looking at. I'm like, that really how it is. Do I really got to worry about? Sometimes, I wonder, like, if is that really, like, how they say people learn from TV? Is that really how you supposed to act when you're loyal to somebody? You know what I'm saying? Whether it could be because finances, or they're naturally, or they're really just a good person behind the closed doors. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I really need to argue back and forth with another female about a man? I think every woman has to come to that group, like come to, have to come to, I guess, cross that road at some point in your life. Either you gonna be heterosexual, you gonna be gay, or you ain't gonna be now one of them. You just gonna be in limbo. So I guess that's why people say being a lesbian is a choice and shit, because it's a path that you choose based off the fate of your life, right? You either been molested, or you're being rejected because of other women being loyal to men that may have more accomplishments than you. That's pretty much what happened with me. Like, damn, do men really have an advantage? I guess, remembering all the discussions that I would have, like, growing up in school and shit. That's what we were trying to figure out, right? Do men really have an advantage over women in society? If we don't want that to happen, we gotta have more women doing the same shit these men doing. But as I can see, common sense tell me, nah, it ain't gonna work like that. So I realize I'm comparing myself to people that I can never be. You know what I'm saying? I could never be a Florida nigga. I don't give a fuck how much I try. And that's why when I was a kid, I was realizing that, there are gonna be people that learn how to fly planes, and they're gonna see me walking down the street, and they're gonna be like, there's that Sade girl. She's probably going to work at a fast food restaurant or something for some goddamn Geechee nigga. And I just realized that even though, having a debate with other kids growing up, and I'm like, damn, I really, at this point in my life, I really want to be a Geechee nigga. So that is some funny shit though. But I see it ain't funny to me personally, but it's funny. It would be funny to just in a general thing. But I could never be Psycho Bob. Bob. I could never be Kodak Black. I could never be Tango Red. I could never be half these niggas. And that's why I'm mad, because some of these people I am actually closely, you know, related to, or actually been closely associated with. And that's why I'm mad, because I'm like, man, being a woman ain't shit special to me. That's gonna be my problem in doing something simple like working in fast food and things of that nature. Being a woman ain't that special to my ass, but the essence of these men are a detox for me, man. Shout out to Slim Thug, man. That damn peaceful song. I know he living like that for real. I'm like, I bet if I get out the Greyhound in Texas, he claimed to be from Texas. I bet you see that nigga just riding up the street chilling. Or shit, he probably be in Georgia too. I went to school with his son. I'm like, keep these people in mind. You know, them people was sitting there trying to get extra credit, telling me I was a narcissist because of a man taping me through sexuality, and I'm like, damn, it really made me a target, right? The men like, look, we work out a lot. Let's rob all these hoes. Let them know that listen, you gonna be dealing with life. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's what tough love is. One day you might die and it might not be nobody there but your ass. You could be walking in the middle of the woods on the way to work and boom, just drop dead. So yeah, I mean, I appreciate my life, especially when I see the graveyard. But it's beautiful to see people. You know, rap makes me appreciate literature, and you know what I'm saying. I gotta be proud of myself regardless. It's muscle out here, and you know, I had to come to grips with myself when I realized that people want to use the idea or the concept of rape to and justify it with um the idea of submission. I don't blame men for doing that, but at the same time, I guess it just depends on who you are. You know, if you're a confident man or not, it just is what it is. I was a girl growing up, so I was expected to do this and do that in the third, and I'm like, I don't know. I just gotta accept the fact that some men really view me in this aspect and really will use that to their advantage to be successful in life. I can't be mad at y'all for that, and I'm done.